Everyone, and welcome to RWB Sports. Hi, this is Reginald Peoples, your host. And I know it's been a while since we've been on the air. It's been a while since we've been live, but we've been behind the scenes, taking care of business on different aspects. But today I am fortunate enough to sit down and talk to Baltimore's own Teaira Skinner. Teaira, welcome to the show, young lady.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you
Oh,
doing
you're
today?
more than welcome. Well, now, for those that don't know, I've gone in and I've done the research and I've looked up your background. Let's let the fans know, let's let the people that are watching know who Teaira Skinner is.
Well, let's start off by saying hello, everybody. My name is Teaira Skinner. You can call me Groovy Baby or Miss Beastie. I'm currently 25 years old. I was ranked number two at 106 pounds for USA Boxing. I was DMV's 2023 Female Fighter of the Year and also DMV's Best 2023 Fighter of the Year. Um, I am currently about to make the transition from amateur to pro. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I moved here to Baltimore for boxing at the age of 19. And
Okay.
I've been here ever since. I kind of got my adoption papers from Baltimore now.
Okay, so you are Baltimore's adopted daughter. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, now let's take it. So we've noticed that your amateur record, like you said, at 126 pounds, you
No,
were, say again,
106 pounds, not 126.
106 pounds. Okay, 100. I must have read it wrong on BoxRec. So 106 pounds. Now, what got you started? What made you want to get into the sport of boxing?
Well, I was going down a really difficult path at that age at 16. Um, I needed an outlet. I needed something to be able to express myself. I needed something to be able to get away from what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit about me, a little bit of background. I was in and out of juvie at that time during my teenage years, and my big sister, thank God for her. She seen what was going on, and she knew that I had extra energy. I needed something to do. I needed something to save me. So she found the boxing gym, and I stepped in, and I haven't stepped out since. I fell in love with it. The more I
Okay.
matured in boxing, the more I stayed. I seen that it was saving me, and I needed to do something to prove to, the courts and the things that I was going through that if I stick my mind and put my mind into something, I can make it happen, and I can be very great at it. And I think that's what I've done, and I'm continuing to do.
Okay. You know that, female boxing is on the rise. You got a lot of well-known fighters out there. Of course, it started back with, Christy Martin, Layla Ali, and you now have the GOAT, which is I can't leave her out. Clarissa Shields, who's done remarkable things for the sport of boxing, and you also have Jake Paul, who a lot of people feel is just a joke, but he has done a lot. He's doing tremendous things with MVP and female boxing. He just had a record-breaking event a couple of months ago at
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden with the all-women's card. Where do you see yourself in the sport of boxing as a female? What are your goals in the sport of boxing?
My goals right now is to be the best that I can be and bring entertainment and excitement. I've always been told during my amateur career and even in sparring sessions, I have a style that is just must see. I have a style and a personality that once you see it, you get glued to it. And
Okay.
right now, if my path is to be a world champion, if my path is just to make money, or if my path is however my path is in boxing, I just want to be the best that I can be and bring excitement to the sport.
And that's amazing. And I can give you a little tip there. And I tell a lot of my young fighters that want to be world champions and that are looking to advance in the sport. Chase the love of the sport. Don't chase the money. If you love the sport and you treat the sport like it's everything to you, the money's going to come. The money's going to be there. So chase the love of the sport before you chase anything else. So I was just getting ready to ask you, and you said that you had a style like no other. What type of fighter are you? Are you a boxer, brawler? Are you a puncher, mover, or are you a speed? Excuse me, speed and accuracy. What type of fighter? What type of fighter are you?
I am a all around complete fighter, and I am going to do what needs to be done. Uh, it depends on who's in front of me. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're someone that moves around, I'm coming at you. I'm coming straight for you. I'm coming straight for you.
Okay.
Or if you're just like me and we're moving up, I can move around the ring. I can box. I can be a boxer puncher. I could be a counter puncher. We can stand there and brawl and go toe to toe if that's what you would like to do too. I'm with it all.
Okay.
So I am an all around complete fighter. I have speed and I most definitely have accuracy.
Okay. All right. And that makes they say styles make fights.
Right.
And you have to have a certain style. And I know sometimes you can get in there with someone and you can be a spectacular, counterpuncher. You could be a technician, but it depends on who your opponent is. It's going to depend on how great you look at that moment. So, uh, for many years, boxing has been a dominated male sport.
Yeah.
Uh, it says women now are starting to get the recognition that they deserve in the sport of boxing. They're starting to, get the notoriety. I think they're now starting to make the millions that the men have been making for years. What are you looking at bringing to the table to take, women's boxing to the next level? What are you looking at presenting in the sport of women's boxing to take it to that next level? Being, 25, you're really young. Uh-oh, I think I lost you. Hold on.
Are we back?
Okay, there you are. Yeah, you're back. There you go.
Okay, let's do it. So
Oh,
I am looking and I'm going to bring excitement and entertainment and an entertaining night. You know how it feels to get ready for a Clarissa fight. You know how it feels to get ready for an MVP promotions card because their cards have been back to back to back entertainment. So
yes.
it's like I'm looking to bring exactly that. I want the fans to be able to say, regardless of who she's fighting, we know that she's going to bring the fight and it's going to be very exciting. And that
Okay.
right there is what makes people want to come back and see you anyway. And I naturally do that. I'm a showstopper, man. I
Okay.
just need the opportunities and I'm going to continue to grind and continue to work hard to make sure that I can prove just that.
Right. Now, are you going to continue? Because I know you're saying that, are you looking at uh, turning pro and you're looking at having a debut by the end of the year? Are you going to continue to participate in amateur events up until then? Or are you stopping amateurs to focus and go into camp for your pro debut?
I have completely stopped amateur boxing to completely focus on going on my pro debut. We're
Okay.
things as we speak, continuing to grind and continuing to perfect everything to make sure I
Hmm.
have a great pro debut and a great career.
Right. Now, there's levels. There's levels to the sport.
Yeah.
And there's different uh dimensions to boxing, whether it's male or female.
Hmm.
What makes you feel as though you're ready to take that next step? What makes you feel as though you're ready to go from the amateurs to the pros?
Well, the first thing off rip would be whenever I stepped into the ring in the amateurs or even sparring against, the top amateur females in my weight class or, the multiple time national champions. I'm a national champion too, but, a lot of these guys have been fighting and competing since
Right.
8 years old. I started a little later at 16. So I had an uphill battle. I had to prove myself. Um, I had to continue to work 10 times as hard as everyone else so
Mm-hmm.
I could be the experience. And I have a lot of heart. My life, no complaints. My struggles and my path in my life and as a teenager and as a little girl is what made me and what helps me keep going. So I've had a lot of uphill battles in my life. I've had a lot of challenges that I've faced and I've conquered. And like
Mm-hmm.
I've said, whenever I do step in the ring against these elite women, I prove every single time that I belong here as well.
Okay. And that is self confidence, and that's what you have to have in this sport. The story that you have, your background, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, it is right along the lines with a lot of champions in this sport today. Um, I know you've heard Mike Tyson for sure as a kid growing up.
Yeah,
He was bullied a lot as a kid. He became a world champion. You have Muhammad Ali, who I feel, in my time is the greatest of all time. He got into boxing because kids bullied him and stole his bicycle. So there's so many different, stories out there that's so similar to yours that has gone on to be a champion. On the female side of it, Clarissa Shields herself,
yeah,
she had a pretty strict and rigorous upbringing, and she was a two-time Olympian, who's gone on to unify, the weight classes in several different weight classes. So
that's,
you on the right path. You got the right mindset. Is now just putting everything into action and getting yourself out there and getting that pro debut under your
yeah,
belt. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that are promoters and that are probably watching right now.
mhm,
So it's one of those things that you have to sell yourself. You have to get out there and put yourself in their eyes so they can see you. Uh, so, do you have a time frame of when you're wanting to do have your pro debut? Do you have a time frame?
Well, I would like to fight by the end of the year. And if not by the end of the year, have my be next year. Because
Okay.
when you rush, you mess something up. And I
Right.
don't want to, you know, about moving correct.
Correct. And it being as young as you are, you have time to move. You don't want to rush, especially in the female side of things because the weight classes are so wide open right now.
Right.
You have champions in weight classes that's only had 7, 8 fights. So the opportunity is there. I see you got coach sitting there with you. So
Yeah.
I'm going to turn a question over to coach. Coach Nice, let me
Okay.
ask you, as her trainer, where do you see her in the 106-pound division in female boxing? That's a very light weight class, but you have some very heavy hitters in that weight class. Where do you see her stacking up in that division?
I see her wiping the whole division up. She's a heavy hitter herself. Even though
Okay.
she's 5'1", short, she packed a lot of power. And I don't think a lot of these girls is going to be expecting that.
They're not.
Okay. Okay.
They're gonna lose
She's
her side, gonna underestimate her, and I think that's gonna be their downfall. She's very strong. She hits hard. I should know. I work with her every day. She's
right.
very skillful. She's disciplined. She listens. She's gonna wipe that whole division clean. Mark my words.
Okay. Well, RWB Sports, we like to travel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put something together to come out there to the gym so I can get a first-hand look at what she has skill-wise, what she has as far as discipline-wise, because like I said, uh, we can make it happen. If we can sit down and work on a date, work on a time frame, we can definitely make that debut happen. And I'm so looking forward to, coming out there and seeing you in person, seeing both of you in person and seeing your work ethic because, hearing you, it reminds me of a good friend of mine, well, two good friends of mine, that are still in the sport. They're still boxing, but they had tremendous work ethics. And one of them went on to be a champion. He went on to be the IBF light heavyweight champion. That's Caleb Plant. Got another guy, Austin DeLay. He is getting ready to fight out in California. They're trying to make a friend of mine's trying to make a fight for him out there in California in October. So those guys, they had tremendous work ethics. They didn't have to be told, what to do. They just went out there and did it. And talking to you, that's what I'm seeing in you, Miss Skinner, is that you have that go get it. You have that dog. You know.
I've been through a lot. I've been easy.
Oh, I think I lost you again.
Take that
Okay,
good
there
with
you
the
go.
bad, put your head down, and mush through it.
All right. Okay. Now, you've worked and you've been around a lot of champions. I don't want to put it out there. I don't want to put out there where you train, but you've been around champions. All right. You've been in the gym with champions. You've
Yes.
seen how champions train. You've seen what they've had to sacrifice. You've seen what they had to do to get to where they want to be. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up on your journey, on your way to becoming a world champion? And what or how are you mentally preparing yourself for this journey now?
Well, that was an excellent question, and I'm glad you asked it because my life has literally prepared me for boxing. My life
Okay.
has been a battle. Not everything's been bad, but there has been a lot of challenges that I had to make, or
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices that I had to make, a lot of things that I had to let go to make this boxing thing work.
Okay.
Even including people that I used to hang around. I can't hang around them all the time anymore. You
Right.
know, as you go up in levels and you're trying to do this thing in boxing, I had to let go a lot. I sacrificed a lot of my free time. I
Okay.
sacrificed a lot of things that some people could be doing, a lot of fun. I don't even
Right.
have too much fun anymore. You can ask anyone. I literally live in the gym. I come to the gym, I train, I do what I need to do, and I go home. I come back, I train. So, I've been in and out of juvie when I was a teenager. So
Right.
that mentally does take a toll on you. And if you are not a tough person, you will crack. So
Right.
my life and my upbringing has prepared me for my boxing career. And I'm completely ready to take it headstrong.
Don't forget
Okay.
diet.
All right. Now you
Oh,
you
yeah,
you
dieting. You got to be able to, put the cakes and the oatmeal cookies, and I can't eat
trust
all
me.
the macaroni and cheese that I want, man.
I'm
I love
I'm going
macaroni and
through
cheese.
that now. You know what I mean? I'm going through
Love,
that myself.
I love zebra cakes, dude.
Yes,
Can't
yes,
eat.
yeah. Trust me. I
Can't,
love sweet. I love sweets. Period. Yeah, I love to cook, and I cook uh, healthy things, but Like just the other weekend, I made some banana pudding cookies. I didn't
Oh,
need them. Yeah, I
yeah,
gave them away. I ended up giving them away, but
you
yeah,
ate them. It's
yeah,
okay.
I didn't eat it. I may have had one. I take it back. I may have had one.
I ate the
But
whole plate. It's okay.
yeah, I know, right? I know. Now, let me ask you this because I know you know, being in and out of the system, being in and out of juvie, and trying to get focused on a sport that you love. How important is it to have a team around you? How important is it to have coach there with you? How important is it to have someone there with you that's going to be tough? You know what I mean? Because you can't have anybody soft around you that's going to let you get away. You got to have somebody there that's tough. That's that tough love they talk about. How
Right.
important is that to you at this point in your career?
It's very important. You gotta have people around you that are not afraid to tell you when you are messing up or when you're slipping. Because as
Right.
boxers, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm perfect. We're not perfect.
No, you're
Sometimes
right.
we'll get stuck in our ways and a way of training, and we have to have someone come up to us and say, "Hey, man, you're slipping up a little bit. I think you should do it like this, or you need to go ahead and do this way." Those are
Right.
the people that really love you, and those are the people that really want to see you succeed. Anyone who's willing to just let you slip off and fall to the wayside, they don't really care. And that's kind of
Right.
how, you know, um, being in and out of juvie kind of was. I had a judge that seen the good in me. I was charged at 13. I did not come off of probation until I was about 18 years old.
Okay.
So I had a judge that seen the goods in me. I would, get in trouble, get in trouble. I would go in, go out, go in, go out, sit for a while, come back out, and I started boxing. He seen that I was trying. The Commonwealth of Virginia did not want me. Um, let's just say I would not be talking to you right now if
Right.
that judge did not.
They saw the bad and thought you were just gonna be bad all the time. They didn't want to give you that second chance in life to move forward. I think I lost you again. I think you froze.
Oh, sorry. 1
That's
second.
okay.
Can you see me now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Are we back now?
We're back.
But yeah, that's exactly what it was. There was no second chances, and I'm literally watching, other kids that did worse than me, and they're going home, and I'm like, well, why can't I go home? Why me? But it prepared me. It made me mentally tough. It gave me that discipline, that drive to say, hey, you need to prove yourself, and you need to prove yourself right now. And as soon as I was off probation, Reggie, I turned 19 and I ran to Baltimore. And I've been boxing ever since. I've been focused and grinding ever since. So I know what it's like to overcome adversity. I know what it's like to have people count you out. And I also know what it's like to show them that they're wrong.
Exactly. And that's the most important thing is you're not actually proving it to them that they're wrong. You're proving it to yourself that you knew you could do it all along. You just had to have someone there that believed in you the way you believed in yourself.
Yes.
And I tell a lot of athletes that I can't want it more than you. When you show me how bad you want it, I'm going to show you that I want it for you equally as bad. And I'm pretty sure coach can vouch for me on this is that he sees your work ethic, he sees your determination. So therefore it makes him want your success just as much, if not more than you do. He just can't show it.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
you're
You know,
right.
he just can't show that he wants it more than you do because he wants you to lead the way. And because this is your show, you as a professional boxer, you are the business now. You are the business. So you're going to have to, get out there with social media that they have now. It's a perfect platform for you to put yourself out there and get what you want. You just have to go after it. You got a good coach behind you that's going to work with you, that's going to help you, You got a good head on your shoulders. You know what you want. You're going after it, and you're not going to settle for anything else. And that's
Right.
the formula for putting those straps around your waist. You know what I mean? Not one, not two,
Not
not
too.
three, but all four. All
Yep.
four. You got
Yes.
the IBF,
Yes.
the WBO, the WBC, and the Ring Magazine Championship.
That's right.
You know, so
That.
that's all four. You
Bummer.
know, so that's giving you the drive. You know what I'm saying? That's giving you the drive. You know, and I really look forward to your career. So we're gonna turn it over to boxing. We're gonna do a little boxing. Get some boxing questions here, and
Okay.
and see what we have. It's like so as a fighter, and I want to do this to try to educate young fighters, male and female, coming up. How do you structure a proper training routine? Um, you're going from amateur to pro, so your routine is going to have to change. And I know a lot of it is up to coach, but then a lot of it is up to you too. So y'all have to collaborate. How do you all come together for the proper routine to get you ready for the next level?
Well, I have pretty intense training sessions as it is. So, in my humbleness, a lot of women don't train like me.
Okay.
So, um, the proper structure for training from amateur to pro, especially, you need to be doing well. For one, you need to be coming in there using your jump rope and shadow boxing, and that's just off rip. You have to be having your strength and conditioning going. You have to, do your calisthenics, your cardio. Make sure your punch speed is up to par. Make sure your strength is up to par. Lots of push-ups, lots of sit-ups, a lot of focus and intentional training, hand placement training, um, getting ready for people that you could possibly be fighting in the future. Look at
Right.
the weight class, look at the weight classes that you're about to be fighting in, and maybe mimic those styles. Get ready.
Okay.
Just always, in my opinion, always getting ready for the next thing. So I'm not shocked. And hey, I've already been training like this before, so I was ready for you 2 years in advance.
Right. Right. So you study. You know.
I
You,
st-
so boxing is not just go to the gym, train, go to the gym, do what your coach tell you to do, and go home. You take boxing home.
yes,
You study the sport.
yes, and this is the truth. A lot of people will say you have to eat, breathe, sleep boxing, and
Yes.
it's true. Boxing is like life,
Okay.
the
Okay.
whole
Yeah,
life.
you're right. You're absolutely right. And trying to get that through to young fighters, who say they want to fight, but yet they don't show the energy or show the drive to want to do it. Once they leave the gym, that's it. That's where they leave their fight. They don't go home and study film. They don't go home and study, different styles, and try to emulate that or try to incorporate that into their everyday routine.
Hmm.
When you do that, I guarantee you can ask Crawford, or you can ask Canelo, you can ask Charlo, you can ask all those fighters who have made their way to the top. It didn't just stop at the gym.
Right. It
It
never
went
does.
beyond that.
You
It went
have to.
beyond that.
You
Coach,
have to study.
let me ask you a question on that, piggybacking off of that. How important or how much do you uh, influence her, or how often are you in her ear, checking on her routines daily, making sure she's eating right, making sure she's getting the right rest? How big of a part do you play in her discipline in doing those things?
Yeah, every day. I check in with her every day. Um,
Okay.
I always, make sure, because I always like to build, not just a boxing relationship, but a personal relationship, as in learning their routine, as their sleep patterns, their eating habits, um, checking up on them mentally, spiritually, physically. It's more than just, because boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. So
Right.
I always got to make sure that she's locked in mentally. That's a
Okay.
big thing. Like, you got to make sure like they're okay. Like they're, some boxers, actually a lot of boxers go through a lot of personal things.
Yes.
Sometimes they come in distracted, or they had a rough day or a rough night, or what I'm saying. So you always got to make sure that they're good mentally first. So I always make sure that's number one. And
Right.
once I know that she's good mentally, I know that she's good with everything else. So it
Right.
starts mentally, spiritually. Make sure she's in the right state of mind, and then make sure she's good physically, like she's not overexerting herself, or she's too tired, or whatever the case may be. So I'm always on top of it.
Right. And I say that, you know, managers are like, excuse me, train trainers are like managers. When you go to work and you manage a large group of people, you have to wear many different hats. And that's just the way a trainer is. A trainer has to wear many different hats, and that's what a lot of, people don't understand, because you have several different attitudes coming into the gym that you have to, adjust to on a daily basis. You have to be dad. You have to be a counselor. You have to be a nutritionist. You have to be a strength and conditioning coach. You have to be a referee. You have to do all those things and still stay focused to keep your fighter focused on what they're supposed to be doing. And I take my hat off to you and all the coaches and all the trainers out there who dedicate themselves, you know, to this sport, because you're away from home a lot more than you were at home, when
Yeah.
you dedicate yourself to someone.
Right.
And so I heard you say, Tier, I heard you say that, one of the main things as far as structuring a proper training program is improving endurance, because I know boxing takes a lot of endurance, it takes a lot of cardio. Uh,
Yes.
Talking to young fighters out there who are just getting started, who, just got, the USA boxing book, and, they got a fight coming up, how would you go about telling them, or how would you go about, instructing them on how to increase their endurance and how to build that cardio up so they can have longevity in the sport?
I would, well, I'm telling them to, especially if they're Pee Wee division or, whichever division that you're starting off in the amateur boxing world, you need to be training um, at that pace. You need to be training at fast pace, especially amateur boxing. You really don't have too much time to think. It's fast, 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 points, 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 points. So you need to be getting your runs, you be doing your runs around, maybe 3, 4 miles every day if you can. You need to be hitting your sprints. Most definitely to be hitting your sprints, and you need to be training at the pace that you fight at. So if
Okay.
you're amateur and you're fighting at a very fast pace, you need to go ahead and be hitting the bag at that pace. You have to be training very intentional. If you're shadow boxing, you need to be shadow boxing like somebody is throwing a lot of punches at your face. And
Mm-hmm.
that right there, as time goes on and you do it over and over and over again, by the time you have your first, or your couple amateur fights goes down the road, you're gonna start to see your improvement. Or if you haven't had your first amateur fight yet, by the time you do have your first amateur fight, the speed and tempo is going to be natural because you're already training exactly like that. So
Okay.
most definitely getting your runs in, your sprints, and training at a very fast pace.
Excellent. I mean, and this right here, and I'm asking you these questions, and your IQ is phenomenal. in the boxing industry. Your IQ of how to, perform and what and when to perform, is right on point. You know what I mean? So that's letting me know that you're on your way to being and doing great things in the sport. I can't say enough about it, but we'll get into that a little bit later, and I'll talk to you all about some other things a little bit later on. Now, I know that a lot of people, the sport of boxing is to hit and not get hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's boxing. You're gonna get hit.
Right.
What would you say, to someone who has a great defense? They have fast hands, they got a high punch count, but yet they get hit a little bit more frequently than you want them to. What would you do, or what would you tell them to increase, their defensive skills? How would you go about increasing one's defensive skills?
They need to just go ahead and step back into that fire when they're sparring. And then
Okay.
also, they have to study. A lot of people that I see have defensive problems, they don't study it at home. You need to
Okay.
be, well, for one, if you have whatever your guard is, Floyd has the shoulder roll,
Mm-hmm.
Devontae has, he has a high guard, and sometimes he does a shoulder roll as well. You know, um,
Right.
Mike Tyson, he has his guard here. He's never
Peekaboo
really dropped
style.
too many
Mm-hmm.
times. You have to perfect your own style. And you also have to you have to get your shoulders strong. You have to get everything strong because, um, in my opinion, your defense starts from your feet
Yes,
because
footwork.
you can't get away from everything.
Yeah.
It might be times where you just keep getting trapped in the ropes and you can catch and block and parry and do a lot, but the moment you find the opportunity to move, some people they just can't do it because their
Don't
feet are
got good
slow
foot.
and they
Yep.
don't have no footwork. So
Yes.
that starts
Yes.
with your feet as well. You just have
Yes.
to keep doing, defensive drills over and over and over again. You kind of have to get obsessive with it until you start to improve, and then don't stop once you do improve because it can fall
Right.
back.
Footwork is very important, and I know one of the greatest that ever did it. Once they footwork diminished a little bit, they suffered two knockouts. Well, actually three knockouts, and that was Roy Jones Jr. He had one of the best uh, regiments for footwork. He took it back to the old school. He's an old country boy down there in Pensacola, Florida. He actually used to go out there and chase chickens. His dad used to actually, send him out there in the coop to run down chickens to work on his footwork. So he had, impeccable footwork once he got in the ring. And you've
Yeah,
seen a lot of his style, and he called it. He called it the rooster. He would imitate everything that he would see on the farm, and it would just, people was just awe and amazed by, his speed. But that's what it comes from. And just like
yeah,
you said, you have to study it. You have to look at it. You have to go over it again and again and again and again until it becomes natural. You know,
yeah.
uh, I used to. I'm a retired boxer myself, but I would throw so many punches that I would throw punches in my sleep. And my girl would be scared to, yeah, she would be scared, because she would wake me up and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" She was like, "You almost hit me." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She was
Oh,
like, "You were
no.
throwing punches in your sleep." I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "Well, maybe I ought to go in the other room." You know what I mean? And so, that's
Did
one
it
of those
so
things.
much? Did it in your sleep? There,
Yeah, it was just those. It never leaves you, and when you get to the point to where you throw in full combinations and you dead asleep, you've trained enough.
you train, and it's probably not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, but it happens. But that's the level that you have to get
Yeah,
to get where you want to be. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Think
You have
about
to
it and
put that time in.
think about it.
Yeah,
You dream about it. You think about it all the. You kind of
yeah,
gotta get obsessive with it, and sometimes
yes,
the obsession with the boxing it just happens naturally because I want to be great. So if I look obsessed with this, it's because I am.
Exactly. And with that mindset, you will be great. I can guarantee it. And if there's anything that RWB Sports can do to help you get to that point, we're willing to do just that, you know. So we want to help, uh, you know, all the young athletes. We do a lot of helping boxing because boxing is an expensive sport. We understand that. We've been there. And so a lot of the kids, you know, don't get opportunities to go to these tournaments, to get to these national tournaments, or even turn pro because of a financial situation or some sort of situation. Yeah.
Make
So,
GoFundMe's and hope and pray that your story gets to somebody, because now at that point, that was me as well. I would start
right.
GoFundMe on a lot of my amateur tournaments, and I made sure that the people that did send the money and spent their hard-earned money, they seen that I put it into good use, and
Exactly. And
they
that's where we come in because we want to do that footwork for you. Uh, because that's our way and that's RWB Sports way of contributing to the sport that they love so much, which is boxing. And that way you can focus on what you do best, which is fighting. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to worry about, you know, getting out there and trying to market yourself and do this, that, and the other. You need to be focused, especially if you're in camp and you have a fight coming up. The last thing you should be worried about is how you're going to get there or you're going to have anything to wear when you get there, you know. So that's where RWB Sports come in, and we do things from our heart. We don't ask for anything. Don't ask. We just want to see you be successful. We want to see your team, you know, grow and be successful because our happiness comes from seeing you be successful. All we ask is that when you get there and you get to that point, is that you pay it forward. You know what I mean? You
just
grab some other young, thriving boxer under your wing and you coach them and you move them along the same way that we uh, support you and other fighters. I would really like to get you all here to the Reading, Pennsylvania area.
okay.
We have a lot of gyms here. I think a lot of kids would benefit from hearing your story. A lot of kids would benefit from watching you train. I have a young lady, a good friend of mine, who owns Unconquered Fitness and Wellness, Eric Spring. If you look him up on social media, you'll see him. He's on my page. It's Unconquered Fitness and Wellness, Eric Spring. His daughter, Elisa, she is an amateur right now, 135 pounds, but she hits like she's 170. Uh, Young girl is phenomenal. I never forget the first time I went to the gym. I got in the ring and sparred with her, and she hit me. And after our sparring session, I went over to her dad, and I was like, "Man, hey, you onto something right here. You need to work with her." I
Yeah,
mean, because she didn't even know how to punch. She
it was
hit
just
me. Yeah,
yeah.
she hit me with an arm punch, and it felt like she hit me with a sledgehammer. Now
She got
I'm
George Foreman stuff.
huh?
She got that George Foreman.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she has that George Foreman, Mike Tyson type mentality. She's strong like George, but she's fast like Mike. And I'm 6'2". At the time, I was right at 340 something pounds, and she
That's
hit me. Yeah,
that
and made me feel it. When
man.
she yes, and as soon as it was over, I went and told her dad. I was like, Eric, you need to work with her because you got something special in that young lady right there. And he's
Right,
been working with her, and she's lost one fight, but she can't find anybody to fight her because she's gone around and she sparred most of the women on the circuit. She has to spar grown women that's
right,
20
and
and
that's how
30 pounds.
kind of
Yeah,
my journey started to go. Until I couldn't get a fight until I went to nationals.
right. And that's what she's gonna have to do.
Yeah,
Because everybody she sparred, when it comes fight time, they like, no, we're not fighting her. No, no,
Yep.
we're not
And
fighting
it,
her.
and that gets discouraging. But as long
Right.
as she keeps her head tucked and she keeps training, by the time she gets to nationals, I promise it's gonna make it all worth it. It's
Yeah.
all worth it.
Yeah, she's got her dad is a coach. Her dad used to fight. He used to box, and he was a phenomenal fighter in the Reading, Pennsylvania area as well. So she's got a great backing. No matter what she does, she's got great backing. And just like you, I also am supporting her in her journey as well. But it's just one of those things that you see the passion.
Yes.
You can feel it when they talk about it.
Yeah.
And as you're sitting here talking about your journey and talking about going forward in the sport of boxing as a professional now, I can hear the determination. I can see the determination. I can tell that all the components are there because I see the look on Coach's face when you say things, he just light up. At first, I thought it was the light back there in the background that was shining, but that's Coach. That's Coach back there shining. There ain't no light bulb in the room. I guarantee you, if he walked out the room, it would go dark. That's Coach back there shining. You know what I mean? And I'm very proud of both of you. Like I said, I will talk to you off air either later tonight or tomorrow, and I'll work on getting down there. I do have some apparel that I want to send you. I have some equipment and things that I want to send you as well. So I'll be getting the mailing address to the gym or to wherever you want it sent to. So I will be sending you gloves and things like that, jogging suits, things like that
Thank
uh,
you so much.
for
I can't express how much gratitude and thankfulness I got for you.
Well, I want to thank you and Coach for taking the time out. Coach reached out to me, and I want to thank you for reaching out to me because it's stories like this, it's young athletes like this that brings joy to RWB Sports because we have an opportunity to help someone live out a dream, to help someone live out passion for something that they love, all because we didn't get to growing up. And like I said, I'm 58 years old. So I came up during the 60s and 70s. Didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of resources to get out there. But I don't want these kids today to have to bypass their dream because they don't have support. You know, they're our
And
future. And the way we look at it is that our elderly is our history. We have to take care of them. Our youth is our future. So we have to educate and take care of them because one day I may look up and I may see Miss Skinner standing over me while I'm in the nursing home talking about, you remember me?
yep,
I'm like,
yep,
yeah, I
yep.
remember you. You
No,
know,
I'll never forget about you.
yeah, and see, that's those things that you create memories like that. And I'm real big on family. We're real big on family here at RWB Sports. Loyalty is a key, and I'm loyal to everybody that I support. We got a guy. We got fights coming up. Marshall Kaufman, who's with King's Promotions. You will see him. He has fights coming up September 5th here in Bethlehem, PA. We went to Maryland last week and talked to Coach Simon Brown and his fighter, Chris Glenn. They're coming down September 5th to the fights. I'm going to introduce them to King's Promotions, and we have a guy on there, Yuri Cedino. He's got a brother named Henry Cedino. Both of them are from the Dominican Republic. One of them was an Olympian for the Dominican Republic. The other one was an alternate for the Dominican Republic Olympic team. Uh, The one Yuri that's fighting on the 5th, he is signed with Top Rank. So he is on his way to being a world champion. His brother, Henry Cedeno, he is the WBO Intercontinental Champion right now, who just won that a few months ago. On the 27th of September, he's going up to Canada to defend that. Uh, he's got a young lady who I would like to introduce you to. Her name is Brittany Sims, Brittany Eagleflex Sims. She fights on the 5th of September, but she's fighting for a WBA Intercontinental title, which
Wow.
in turns, if she wins that, then it's an eliminator for the actual world title. So, you
Great.
know, yes, I have another friend of mine, James Bartley. He is the matchmaker for Red Owl. I know you've heard of Red Owl down in Houston. They do a lot of things with Box Lab. They do a lot of things with it slips my mind. I want to say Top Rank, but it's not Top Rank. But they do a lot of things in that aspect as well. I have already told both of them about you, so both of them have uh,
Thank
looked into what you have to offer, and
you.
the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? I'm here to help and support and boost your career and try to get you everything that you want to do in the sport of boxing.
I thank you so much. I really do.
You're more than welcome. And like I said, I will get your address and everything once we get off, and I will talk to you and plan on coming to Baltimore so I can come to the gym and I can see you all. I can talk to you all and interview you all and see the rest of the team
Yeah.
and see what we can do there in the gym. And get you out here to Reading, PA. Get you and Coach out here to Reading, PA, let you all go around to the gyms. Bozy Enos, who is right there in Philly, he has Philly's Next Champion Gym. He is the coach and trainer of Boots
Boots.
Enos.
Mhm.
He also has Andy Cruz, and he also has Sugar Shay. So all of
Thank you.
them train, right there in his gym. Boots is right now in Vegas with Canelo. So you have an opportunity to put yourself in front of people that matter.
Right.
Thank you so much.
So now it's up to you to show them what you're capable of doing.
I'm gonna shine.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
rise to the occasion.
yeah. Believe in yourself the way we believe in you. You know,
Yes.
just from
Yes.
this conversation alone, you have another fan. I've already gone on Box Rack and followed you. So
Thank you.
yeah,
thank, thank
yeah.
you, Mr.
So
President.
I'm just waiting and I'm waiting for that pro debut so I can come back and talk to you and see what those first pro fight jitters were like. I know what mine were like. So I just want to see if everybody else's is the same. But I want to thank you all. You have anything you want to close the show with? You talk to
Um,
your fans, talk to the people that are watching, and I'll come back and we'll close it out.
I would like to say thank y'all for having me on here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be able to, connect with y'all a little on a personal level, seeing my personality and my journey. And I can't wait to share more with you all because I have a lot of layers to me. It is a lot of things that people don't know, a lot of things that people don't see. And I'm just very thankful that I get these opportunities to be able to do so. Follow me on Instagram at Premier Global Groovy, or you can just type in my name, Teaira Skinner, Teaira Skinner, and just follow my journey, man. Just follow my journey. I want to bring excitement and entertainment to this women's sport, like I know I can. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Well, I want to thank you all for being on the show once again. Once again, Coach, thank you so much for reaching out to me. If it wasn't for you, I would have never got an opportunity to talk to this lovely lady and get to know her on a personal level, to be able to follow her career. I see good things, great things, exceptional things coming from both of you in the near future. And I'm hoping RWB Sports can be a big part of helping you all get to where you want to be, get to where you need to be that greatness that you choose to be. And I just want to say, good luck to both of you. And thank you once again for being part of RWB Sports tonight. So I'm going to close everything out. So, everybody, I want to thank you all for joining in and watching RWB Sports as we sat down and talked to Teaira Skinner and her journey from amateurs to the pros and what it's like being a female boxer that is on the rise, that's coming up, that's being, spotlighted by so many different promoters this day and time. This is just another prospect, just another one that's waiting to be a contender in the female category in boxing that we are willing to support and that we're willing to stand behind. And I know that in my heart that she's going to do great things for her coach, for her gym, for her community, for her family, and also for the sport of boxing. This is Reginald Peoples with RWB Sports, and we'll see you in the turn. Thank you all once again.
Thank you.